Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, and when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. All right, so today is really not a tax topic, but really more of a all-around business topic. Okay, maybe I should have put this in the business training section, but I really want to talk about data security. I was at a conference last week, a tax conference last week, and this came up, and this has becoming a bigger conversation in the tax community, even at the IRS, where we as tax professionals, we have to renew our preparer tax ID number. They are asking, when we renew our preparer tax ID number, are we aware of the requirements of the IRS for what our responsibilities are for data security? So I wanted to come on and really talk about this for business owners, period, so that you really understand like what's going on in our world. We know that hacking happens, right? We're getting to the point now where it's not it's only a matter of time before you do get hacked. It's not going to be anymore, those who were hacked and those who weren't. It was going to be those who were hacked and those who were hacked again. We've seen this over the past couple of years with Yahoo, with Equifax, with Marriott hotels. There's been a lot of these huge data breaches, and this is becoming the way of our world. But what's happening though is corporations are investing more in their data security, which now leads small businesses to be the targets because small businesses are not investing as much in cybersecurity as the larger corporations are. So yeah, us ones and twosies, us little mom and pop shops, all those little things that you think that nobody's paying attention to us, when the fact is that they are, because they know that we are not as vigilant with data security as larger corporations, and this is what needs to change. So I'm just going to share a few of the things that were shared with me in this conference that I think is really good. So one of the things is about passwords, right? Where, it was this guy, Bill Burr. I'm not sure. Bill Burr invented the original password recommendation in 2003 that created a word with the combinations of capital letters, symbols, numbers, etc. You know how when you go to all these sites, you got to have uppercase letter, lowercase letter, special character, do two backflips and with a twist, and then you have your password, right? And so what he was saying is that now he regrets that, because with that, we made passwords that were difficult for humans to remember, but were easy for computers to figure out. And I think he was saying that, let me see what he said. And it said that a computer can break that type of code in 3 days based on 1,000 guesses per second. So when you're looking at using a 3 for an E, a 4 for an A $sign for an S, computers know this. And so hackers know this. And so they're programming computers to make those adjustments. And this is how those passwords are getting hacked. This is why you gotta be smarter than the average bear now. So one of the new password recommendations is to use at least four random common words like butter, tea, bread, apple, right? Because a computer is not going to figure that out, but it's going to be easy for you to remember. And the longer the password, the better. So, so you put four random words, not stuff that goes together, but just four random words that, to string them along, at least four words. And then you can add a special character at the beginning of the end. And it says that using passwords like this with the random word combinations, computers can break this code in 550 years based on 1,000 guesses per second. So, so you think about that, 550 years to guess a password. Well, 550 years, the whole bunch of people will be gone by then. But so now it's easy for you to remember, but it's hard for a computer to figure out. Let's see. So the other thing they talked about were the different types of cybersecurity breaches. And the main one is phishing. Phishing is when somebody clicks on a link in an email, and you see this happening all the time because we're getting them even on Facebook, right? I know in my Facebook Messenger, I'll get a message from someone with a link to what is supposed to be a YouTube video talking about, is this you? Well, you already know it ain't you, right? Come on. So you don't click on suspicious links. You have to really kind of get to know people to know the kind of stuff that they send. Like, even though I've got about 5,000 friends on Facebook, I know the people I interact with the most, and I know what kind of stuff that they send. So when I get something that seems off kilter, I'm reaching out saying, hey, did you send this? And this is also for my business owners. If you have a customer that is sending you a link to something, do not click on that stuff, because somebody could have hacked your client's email and gotten to you, and you think, okay, wow, this looks like it's from my client. Don't go clicking on that stuff, because that is what's going to allow hackers to get access to your computer, to the data on your computer. Now, you say to yourself, well, I don't keep customer data. Well, actually you do. And it's not necessarily just customer data. You think about all the people that you talk to. You think about all of the email addresses that you have. If you're selling stuff online and people are buying from you, even if you're using third-party software, you still have some of that information on your own computer. So it's up to you to be very vigilant about how you're protecting your customer data. So, it's very easy to want to pass this off to a larger organization to say, okay, well, it's on eBay or whatever, just as an example. But if they got to eBay through you, then it's your fault. And what I mean is this: if you click, we talk about phishing, if you click on some link and then people get access to the data from where you clicked on it, and then they go through your eBay account and get access to other people's data, then it's not eBay's fault. It's you. Right? So this is what we're talking about. Other tips that were shared. Storing your password in your browser is a very bad idea. Okay. Simply because, again, if somebody hacks into your computer, then they have all of that stuff right there, and they can just get access to all of your information using the autofill feature. Now, I'm gonna tell you, before this, I loved some autofill because it was a big time saver. But when it comes down to data security, it is not a good idea, because, again, if you are hacked and then somebody goes into a form and they just click on the autofill, then they have all of your information, your name, address, can be birth date, can be social security number, can be all sorts of things. So you definitely want to disable that feature. Let's see here. I'm going through. Okay, so we're talking about as far as one of the breach aspects is a theft or loss of device, and we're talking about laptops, smartphones, tablets, all of those things that are, your mobile media. Those things can cause a data breach. You think about, because we love that mobile lifestyle, don't we? All of us, online entrepreneurs, we love being mobile. We got our laptop, we're sitting on the beach, sipping Mai Tais and doing work. Well, that can really open you up to a data breach, because if you lose that laptop, if you lose your phone and somebody hacks into it, guess what? That's you, right? That's what happened with the VA. A couple years ago, an employee was working from home, and all of the 26.5 million people, including their name, social security numbers, and birth dates, were stolen. Okay. Now, looking at looking at improving your cybersecurity, one of the things that you definitely need to look into is cyber insurance. Okay. And the reason that you need to look into that is because if you are if you have your business insurance, you might have your general liability insurance, you might have errors and omissions insurance. Those types of insurance do not cover data breaches, and data breaches can be really, really expensive. We're talking about six figures and and up that it can cost a business. So if you look at somebody like Equifax and Yahoo, yeah, they're like Equifax is really ingrained in who we are as a society, so they're really not going anywhere. A data breach didn't put them out of business. But for small business owners, a data breach can put us out of business, right? Because when you're looking at the cost of a data breach, that is huge. You have to notify every contact that you have to notify them of a data breach. So again, you think about all the emails that you have, all of the phone numbers that you have, birth dates, all of that stuff that you have access to. You have to notify everyone that you had a data breach. Just the cost of that is alone. So we're looking at like the internal costs of a breach is like what the containment, what it costs to shut it down, recovery, backing up and restoring data, and improving response times. But the biggest thing is being able to detect that you have had a data breach, because a lot of times these things happen and we may not even know it until it's well too late. But the external cost of a data breach, that's what really can cost us. You're looking at the information loss or theft, which is going to involve attorneys, identity repair, monitoring, credit monitoring and all of that. Reporting, notifying people, notifying specific agencies, business disruption, and loss of business, right? Because, when you do have a data breach, then your customers are looking at you like you didn't do what was necessary to protect my data. So therefore, I cannot trust you. I'm going to go somewhere else. And here's something else that I found out for home business owners. We may not be eligible for a loss of business insurance the same way as a standalone brick and mortar business, right? So this is something that you need to ask your insurance company about, is that loss of business insurance, to see if you're eligible for that. Okay. The other things is that you definitely want to separate, if you've got people that are coming in that are using your wireless router, you don't want to give people the password to your Wi-Fi at home. You don't want to give them your password. Absolutely not. That's why you go places and you have guest Wi-Fi because you don't want someone getting access to your server and shut your junk down, right? Make sure that you are backing up all of your data. And it says for best practices, back up using the 3-2-1 rule. 3 copies of data that are stored on 2 different media, hard drive or DVD, etc., or external drive, and 1 copy of a backup stored offsite, whether it's cloud backup if you have an external drive at somebody's house. Ideally, each copy would be identical, and if a backup is updated, then all sources are updated. And so there's so much that goes into data security. And yeah, you definitely want to look at having a cybersecurity consultant on your team to help you with this stuff. I know we're in this DIY society. We want to do everything ourselves, but we want people to pay us for our expertise. That's the wrong answer. You really need to pay people that have this level of expertise to operate with you in your business and to help you in your business, because this is not something, unless you are a cybersecurity specialist or something like that, then you really need to outsource this so that you can make sure that you have the best protection. One of the other things that came out too is the password manager. There's lots of different types. The most common are like LastPass. Hold on, I'm gonna get back here and show you and tell you some more that they talked about for password managers. Let's see here. See if I can find it really quickly. If not, I'll just have to add them. Okay, so there's different ones. So there's Dashlane, Bitwarden. I had never heard of that. 1Password. are some options. And what they were saying is this, is that it's best, even though these password managers offer free options, it's best to, to upgrade to one of the premium options, because usually in the premium option there is some IT support. So in the event that you are hacked, that they are available to help you. So yeah, the free option, it creates the passwords and all of that stuff, but with the paid option, it generally comes with some sort of IT support. So whichever password manager that you're using, I encourage you to go and look, if you're using a free one, to look at their paid options to see what is the difference in the offering. Because at the end of the day, if you have a data breach, how will you manage? You want to look for help before you need it, not later. It is going to cost you more. What do I tell you? Prevention is often cheaper than the cure. So if you're looking for help after you've had a data breach, it's going to cost you way more than if you had consulted with someone ahead of time. So I encourage you to do that in your business. Talk to your insurance companies and find out exactly how you're covered in the event that you do have a data breach. Go and fix these passwords, you guys. Hackers know that we might have one or two passwords that we use. We might switch one or two characters per password. That's why they have computer programs to go through and figure these things out. So go through a password overhaul, update these passwords, use the 4, random words and, all that stuff, right? So that you can have better passwords to reduce the chance of you getting hacked. Notice I said reduce, not eliminate. I don't think there's any way to really eliminate the possibility of hacking other than just not using a computer at all. But that's not realistic, right? So you definitely want to do everything that you can to mitigate those risks of a data breach, and be vigilant on your own, but also consult with someone to see how you can better protect yourself. Okay? So I hope that helps you out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, and you can come right here and schedule a consult to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right. Have a great day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.